What's good, y'all? Hope you're having a wonderful day. For the Bible verse of the day is Proverbs chapter 30, verse 12. There is a generation that are pure in their own eyes, and yet is not washed from their filthiness. And the way they get washed is just repenting for their sins. Um, this Bible verse is on my mind right now because I'm thinking about my friends and how I want them to change to the better side of life. And what I mean by them change is not give in to drugs like weed, porn, nicotine, and sinning, as in like in profanity, uh, things like this. These are the main ones that are on my mind, and I think about how I cannot change them. I can only be a good example and set the standard for them, right? um, and not to say they're completely pure, like in this Bible verse. They know it's wrong, but the devil just has a hold on them, and they think, oh, it's okay if I jack off this time I because I need to, right? Just simply because I need to, and I feel like it, right? They do what they feel like doing at all times, and they think that's okay. Instead of saying, no, I'm not going to give in to this temptation. I'm going to decide to strengthen myself, strengthen my discipline, and use that energy that God has gave me and put it into something else, right? Because that's the way that I view any type of, I guess, horniness. Whenever I feel horny and I want to do it, bust a nut, I'll use that energy to something else because that's energy that God blessed you with. And it's so much energy that's like, what do you think is going to happen if you control it and you harness it? John Jones talks about how uh, energy or anxiety, you can either let that energy consume you, right? Or you can harness it and use it to your advantage. There's a generation that are pure in their own eyes, and yet is not washed from their filthiness. I say this as well, even though I keep on rereading it. I say this as well because I used to be this way. I used to think that smoking weed and watching porn and cursing was all okay to do, but yet it is completely wrong. It is completely wrong. There is a better side of life whenever you decide to quit all these things. And whenever you decide to quit one, right, that gives you a little bit of power. That gives you an edge. That gives you confidence that you can quit the others. Some might be more difficult than others, right? But it's the fact that you act on it and you attempt to break out and you see what is on the other side. And as soon as you get a taste of the other side, you get addicted. That's why try to cut out as much trash as I possibly can each day. For example, John Mark Stevenson, I was listening to him, and he was saying that you should take out any trash that's in your life, right? That's not profiting you. And immediately, the first thing that came to mind, the thing that's weighing me down the most, is Snapchat and Instagram. So I deleted them. The one thing that was holding me back for a long time on the reason why I was not deleting Snapchat was I did not know my password, and I got a new phone, and then I signed in, and I was like, oh, I actually do know my password, so I can sign into my account if I want to go back, uh, ever want to go back, which I probably will go back to Snapchat eventually, but for right now, I need to be in a time of focus, right, on my goals, myself, my future, etc., and God, and my friends as well. There's a generation that are pure in their own eyes, and yet is not washed from their filthiness. And all they have to do is ask the Lord for forgiveness. And let's say you don't believe in God, okay? For example, and it's the act of saying, "Forgive me for my sins," because you think about when you say that, "Forgive me for my sins," you think about what sins did I commit, and then since you're thinking about what sins you committed, your mind starts to signify that, okay, I committed that sin, I did that, So maybe I shouldn't do it again in the future, right? And I catch myself. But before, when I did not ask the Lord for forgiveness every single day, right? Because I sin every single day without even noticing it. And the more I go to church, I notice, oh, I do that, I do this, I do that. That's a sin, that's a sin. And everything is considered a sin. Well, not everything is considered a sin, but, like murdering someone is the same amount of a sin compared to gluttony or lust, etc. I forgot where I was going with that. Yeah, there's a generation that are pure in their own eyes, and yet it's not washed from their sins. So, to go back to the very beginning, I think about the friends and how they have these vices that I want them to change. But I always want to say, you need to change. You need to do this. You need to do that. But all I need to do is here. I need to be the one to set the example. I need to be the one that sets the standard, right? Because that role models are the only ones that can make a change in others, right? As soon as people see others' success, they want to be like them, right? They'll, like, for example, whenever I become successful, right? Even though I'm becoming more, my standard is increasing every single day, but once people see the level that I arrive at, right? They will start to want to be like me because I'm going to be basically a unicorn um, to everyone else. What's this verse? There's this quote or this thing that the Sunday school lesson guy read today, and it really stood out to me. Stood out to me. In a world full of darkness. Gosh knows I got a lot of notes. In a world full of darkness, the darker the world gets, the brighter your light will shine, right? So the more I become jacked, right? Okay, I might look like a normal guy when it comes to the gym, right? I've been training for almost 4 years. I might look like a normal guy, but when I go out in public, I stand out. I naturally look at all these other people like that guy's not jacked. That guy doesn't work out. That guy's extremely scrawny. That dude looks like he has no self confidence. And I feel like I stand out more and more and more the more that I work on myself, right? Gosh knows. But yeah, I need to be pointing the finger at me instead of trying to say you need to change this, you need to do that, right? And work on myself more and more so I can become a leader and set the example, a proper example. So they see my light shine, right? And they'll want to be more like me. I'm not saying I want to be admired or idolized or anything. I just want to set the standard. That's it. And I want to give, if people are going to judge me, I want to give them something that they can judge. And I want them to get pissed off when they look at me. I want them to be, why does this guy have all this? Because I earned it. Someone said to me, I haven't seen them in a few years. They looked at me. They were sitting in front of me. They turned around and said, how you've grown. Like they just said, oh, how you have grown. And for the next like 5 minutes, I was just smiling because these people seen the old version of me and they were just astonished by how I've changed myself and how God has helped me through change and how much bigger I've gotten, how much weight I've gained, how much muscle I've gained, height, etc. And age as well. I look completely different. And your friends and the people that you want to change, right? Oh, they're not doing this. They should be doing this instead. Take You can learn from it. You can take something from everything. Take advantage of that opportunity, right? Even though it's an opportunity in disguise. Take advantage of that problem and think about, okay, what are they doing that I can learn from that I don't want to do, right? So I don't want to smoke weed because it's going to. You want to have a sober mindset. A sober mind. You want to have a clear mind. I that would be the worst thing for me to do right now. That would make me feel content. That would make me feel comfortable. The last thing that I want to do right now is feel comfortable whenever I want to chase discomfort. I don't want to feel okay. I want to feel on edge at all times because that's where I know that I'm growing. But I want to feel on edge and in discomfort whenever I am pushing myself towards my goals, right? Whenever I'm training, whenever I'm eating, whenever I'm reading the Bible. I don't want to sit there and read a blank page whenever, for all of my life, I've been looking at a computer screen, right? Flashing colors in my eyes. Last thing I want to do is read the Bible. But I know that there's growth within all of these things that I'm doing. And if I focus on having intensity within these small daily habits, I will grow at an exponential rate. The depth of your struggle will determine the height of your success. If you are not struggling day by day, if you're not putting in more effort than you did the day before, then your standard is decreasing. I don't know if I really necessarily. Yes, somewhat, because you should be pushing yourself more every single day, so your standard increases. For me, I I fell out of this I guess state, right? High frequency state. I started waking up late. I started falling back into sin. I started, etc. I started falling back out of making these videos, losing my consistency, stopping day trading. Um, but my standard had increased even though I was in a low frequency state. I was making my bed. I was making these videos half on, half off. I was putting a lot of that energy into training. I was putting all that energy into eating food and making sure I hit my protein and calorie goals, etc. The depth of your struggle will determine the height of your success. So you are either growing or you are dying. You want to be putting yourself through uncomfortable situations so you are constantly growing every single day and you are constantly learning. Because if you start falling into comfort and putting yourself in comfortable situations, right? It's like one of those habits, it will break. Um, like if let's say I decide to give in to porn or smoke weed, okay, that makes that like there's a glass window in front of me, right? But if I throw a little pebble at it, like pretty hard, or a rock, it might crack it a little bit. Okay, that is what giving into it one time is like. But as soon as you get a little taste of it, that feel good, that dopamine, you want to do it again. So it's like throwing a pebble and a rock at the window over and over and over and over and over until it completely shatters, and then it goes everywhere. You're smoking every single day again. You're smoking multiple times a day again. You are watching porn multiple days again. It's the same thing, but you're either growing or you are dying. So you have to focus on keeping that discipline and all these things that hold your day together and hold it tight. So I can't give in to not waking up early. Okay, my 6 a.m. wake up is so important. It's so important. It automatically puts you on a higher frequency than if I woke up at 1 p.m. And yeah, not giving into porn, not giving into being in a bad environment. Um, Deciding, just normal things like that. Um, Making my bed puts me in a higher frequency, and there's things that knowing not to do them will grow you naturally, but it takes discipline to decide not to act on them. This video is getting a little long. I haven't made a video this long in a while, but yeah, if you watch this video all the way through, I appreciate you. And yeah, you have a good rest of your night. I'm gonna go ahead and end it here. I appreciate you. Later. God loves you.